From cow urine to DNA, Rahul Gandhi had wanted a full X-ray to be done of India via a caste census. Turns out his party and its India allies have ended up doing an X-ray of North India instead. How else does one explain the profound wisdom that has flown from some leaders within the I.N.D.I.A camp? By now, you all know that it has been propounded after the December 3 results that the north and south of our country are distinct entities and hence vote completely differently. The insinuation actually is that the south is somehow better and that's why it chooses the Congress. Then things got better or worse depending on which way you look at it. Yesterday, DMK MP Senthil Kumar jumped in and declared that only gaumutra states choose the BJP. Then to top it all, an interview of Congress's Chief Minister designate in Telangana resurfaced. This interview showed how Revant Reddy called Telangana's DNA superior to that of people from Bihar. Actually, just to give you the context, Revant Reddy made this remark in response to a question about how his ABVP antecedents are being mocked by the BRS. To that, Revant Reddy said that at least my DNA is from Telangana. As opposed to KCR's ancestors, who are originally Kurmis from Bihar, they migrated to Telangana, hence their DNA isn't even pure. Finally, he declared, Telangana's DNA is better than that of the Bihari DNA that KCR has inherited. Needless to say, the BJP has picked up on all of these comments and controversies to say that the utterances may be different. They may be coming from different people, but they all show at their core a contempt for cultures in India other than their own and is symptomatic of a divisive mindset.
ये एक सोची समझी साजिश है, सुनियोजित रणनीति का हिस्सा है, जहां भारत और भारतीयों को नीचा दिखाने का कोई कसर कांग्रेस नहीं छोड़ रही। क्या मजबूरी है राहुल गांधी, सोनिया गांधी जी की और कांग्रेस की कि इनके साथ रहना जरूरी है? देश को स्पष्ट करें। आखिरकार ये सीधे तौर पर स्पष्ट होता है कि ये इन दोनों ने मिस्टर राहुल जी और सोनिया जी ने सीधे तौर पर आशीर्वाद दिया है अपने गठबंधन के नेताओं को, देश को तोड़ने का जो बीज बोना है उसके लिए।
Throughout these elections, they tried to divide people amongst caste. Throughout these elections, they and the I.N.D.I.A alliance partners tried to talk about Sanatan Dharma being dengue, malaria, leprosy, HIV. Rahul Gandhi will maintain a studied silence. Priyanka Gandhi will not say a word of clarification when these people create this kind of divisive politics in the country. Our party will oppose it, will expose them, and more than us as a party, the people of India will certainly not tolerate this kind of divisive politics.
भारत के सनातन की पहचान गंगा गौ हैं, गौ माता भारत सनातन की पहचान है। मजाक करना बंद करो, सनातन को खत्म करना बंद करो राहुल गांधी। स्टालिन टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग, नहीं तो खुद समाप्त हो जाओगे।
In fact, in all of these cases, I.N.D.I.A has been put in the dock to ask if they agree with such comments. Because remember, it's Nitish Kumar, the man who was tipped to be the convener of this grouping, who belongs to the Kurmi community in Bihar that Revant Reddy was referring to. Kurmis themselves, by the way, make up only 4% of the population in Bihar. The community feels sizable influence in several seats in the state, but also in Uttar Pradesh, specifically Eastern Uttar Pradesh. There are 8% Kurmis and they influence the result of at least 24 out of 80 Lok Sabha seats in UP. It's no wonder then that leaders of I.N.D.I.A today either remain tight-lipped about Revant Reddy's comment or scramble to denounce it as a personal opinion.
कोई भी बयान जो भावनाओं को आहत करता, मैं उसको सिरे से खारिज करता हूं। ये राष्ट्र सभी का है। जो उत्तर प्रदेश में है, बिहारियों को अपमानित किया, गुजरात वाले ने बिहारियों को अपमानित किया। बिहार सहनशील है, पर भावनाओं के आहत करोगे तो माकूल जवाब देने में पीछे नहीं हटती बिहार।
नहीं, इस तरह के वक्तव्य किसी भी पार्टी के नेता को, और खास तौर से जिसने कुछ राजनीति को चाहिए पूरी की हो, ऐसे वक्तव्य उसको नहीं देने चाहिए। मैं ऐसे वक्तव्यों की निंदा करता हूं।
The fundamental question then is this unthinking parochialism that has crept into the political discourse? It was fairly commonplace, a statement for parties like the DMK to make. But what about the Congress? How does it get to condone such statements which will end up affecting its political fortunes, especially in these so-called cow urine states of the north? Is it enough now to brush off such statements made by Revanth Reddy or Senthil Kumar with a condemnation and a half-hearted apology, or will the leadership of the Congress break their silence about this thinking or unthinking tirade? Joining us on the debate, we have Shazia Elmi, spokesperson of the BJP, Harshvardhan Tripathi, senior journalist, Krishank, spokesperson of the BRS, Ashutosh, senior journalist, and Nikhil Jain. To you, I ask that first question. Where is the open condemnation and statement? How long can silence suffice?
Padmaja, first of all, I think we are misrepresenting what Mr. Revanth Reddy has said. When he says, when the question is being put to him about his ABVP antecedents, and then he's questioning then he's talking about the origins of KCR and comparing KCR's origins with his own origins. I think what he's talking about is, what he's trying to say is indulge in a political rhetoric that KCR is not a native Telanganite. He is, and therefore he is a better choice. It is about a native versus an outsider. It has nothing to do with inferior or superior. Also, there's a lot of echo. If you could please get that fixed.
I will just get that fixed.
Secondly,
by the way,
so
what is a
the
native and a settler? You know that itself. Hold on a second. I don't think you realized it. But in India, everyone is native to the country. Your analysis itself is very problematic. India is not separate states. We are all natives to India. You're making it seem that KCR is some kind of settler.
State elections, of course we are.
I come from Uttarakhand. I have lived in Uttar Pradesh.
Padmaja,
I have lived in Nagaland. I have lived in Assam. And I am native to all of these places. Nobody is a settler in this country. But do go on.
No, one thing. Of course, nobody is saying that. Nobody is saying that. What I'm saying is that when you are a person living in Hyderabad, in Telangana, in India, you are, of course, an Indian citizen. You are a native of India. You are also of Telangana, and you are also of Hyderabad. And people in India like to hold their geographical identities close to their hearts. When people from Bihar migrate to Delhi, they never forget their Bihari roots, as they should not. And that is the point.
So then how exactly is your justification that Revanth Reddy is a better choice? KCR is from India. Revanth Reddy is from India. What is your justification? Would you want to reword your justification? Because your justification is perhaps more problematic than the comment.
No. Even an MLA candidate likes to point out to his voters that this person is not from the constituency, so don't vote for him, vote for me because I'm from the constituency. People in a state election who are gunning for the top post always like to use this, that this person is an outsider, he does not belong from the state, and therefore vote for me. Of course, had it been a member of parliament election, it would have been a different thing. But we're talking about state elections here, and I don't understand why.
So you're saying that Telangana DNA is better than Bihari DNA?
About Congress leaders and get into it without actually looking into the substance.
Because those were his exact words. Telangana DNA is better than Bihari DNA.
How can anybody say that?
But he did, and he's going to take out tomorrow as the Congress's first chief minister in Telangana.
Precisely what I'm saying. That people of Telangana voted Revanth Reddy in power.
So? That makes KCR worse. Okay, let Krishank respond to this. One, this was not meant as some great slur, Krishank. It was only meant as a political rhetoric. And the fact remains that Mr. KCR's ancestors came from outside. Revanth Reddy is saying, me, my ancestors, everyone born, raised, lived here. Hence, we are better. What's the problem?
Well, when KCRG was born, I don't think Revanth Reddy ji was born either. Number one, Padmaja. Number two, when KCRG started the agitation, led the agitation, and in fact ensured the formation of Telangana statehood, where was Mr. Revanth Reddy? He was not even a part of the Telangana agitation. So I don't think anyone in Telangana has any question over KCRG's contribution regarding Telangana state. But while I'm saying this whole Bihari statement, why we feel that Mr. Revanth Reddy, who's our chief minister now in a couple of hours, he's an habitual offender, Padmaja, because I should remind you one more important statement what he has called of this Bihari officers he has called them as Bihari mafia. We cannot forget this. This is the second time what he is, speaking about the Bihari DNA. His earlier statement was against the Indian administrative services and Indian police services working in Telangana, calling them as a Bihari mafia in Telangana. Now we want to ask the Congress representatives or Mr. Revanth Reddy that are you removing out of your government of Telangana these bureaucrats whom you have termed as Bihari mafia? You should answer this.
Nikhil Jain,
because
another case. So much for rhetoric.
Yeah.
Basically, it's about people of Bihar. There's an underlying condescension about people from Bihar, and it's coming from a Congress leader.
Absolutely not. Padmaja, absolutely not. The fact of the matter remains that people from the state of Bihar are migrate to other states in the largest numbers. So wherever, and we have seen this rhetoric play time and again in various states through various leaders, whether it was Balasaheb Thackeray in Maharashtra, whether it is comments from Revanth Reddy here, whether it is comments from people in Delhi. It is all across the board that people from Bihar migrate to other states, all the way from a farm worker to an IAS officer. And very often people in those native states, especially states that are not Hindi speaking states, tend to foster some sort of a discomfort with it, that why are our IAS officers
definition of racism
or from our own state? Why
what
are
you
our
are
jobs
describing,
being
sir,
taken?
is the textbook definition of racism. What you call discomfort, you're not supposed to have discomfort. Who are you to have discomfort?
Padmaja,
it is his country.
No. Racism.
You harbor that discomfort in your house,
Padmaja,
sir.
it would be racism. No, it would be racism when there is. Okay, just a minute.
This is as bizarre as saying when people from the northeast come to Delhi and they are called names, it is because naturally we have discomfort. No, nobody cares about your discomfort.
That is racism. No. Then that is no.
This also is racism. You call people from Bihar Bihari mafia is racism.
Their identity, that is racism. When no. What I'm saying is that the Deputy Chief Minister of Haryana, in alliance with the BJP, they say that we want to reserve 90% of our jobs in the state for people of Haryanvi origin.
That was stupid. It was struck down.
From Telangana says that
is parochialism and it was struck down.
To be from the state of Telangana. What is wrong in that?
That is exactly the reason it was struck down by court, sir. Because it was an absolutely harebrained thing to do. Nobody can own the jobs of any state in our country. It belongs to the entire country. Now, how can you have हर्षवर्धन त्रिपाठी? यहाँ पे लॉजिक ये दिया जा रहा है कि ये कोई रेसिज्म की बात नहीं थी, ये कोई एंटी नॉर्थ इंडियन, एंटी बिहार, एंटी कुर्मी, एंटी काउ यूरिन स्टेट्स की बात नहीं थी, ये सिर्फ एक पॉलिटिकल रेटरिक था।
पद्मजा जी, मुझे लगता है कि ज्यादा दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण ये इसलिए है क्योंकि रेवंत रेड्डी अब मुख्यमंत्री बन गए। रेवंत रेड्डी उस व्यक्ति के लिए कह रहे हैं कि वो इस राज्य का नहीं है जिसने राज्य के लिए संघर्ष किया। तेलंगाना बनाने वाला सबसे बड़ा नेता के चंद्रशेखर राव, तेलंगाना के लोगों के लिए सबसे ज्यादा काम करने वाला नेता के चंद्रशेखर राव। आज सत्ता में के चंद्रशेखर राव नहीं है, लेकिन प्रॉस्पेरिटी के मामले में देश के किसी भी राज्य से बेहतर करने वाला तेलंगाना, पर कैपिटा इनकम के मामले में सबसे शानदार काम करने वाला तेलंगाना। हालांकि मैं केसीआर की फ्रीबीज पॉलिटिक्स का समर्थक नहीं हूं, उनके परिवार में और उनके ऊपर जो भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप लगे उसका समर्थक नहीं हूं, लेकिन इस तरह की बयानबाजी करना, ये जिसको कहते हैं ना कि किस तरह की मनोदशा से गुजर रहे हैं रेवंत रेड्डी, और कहीं ये पूरे के पूरे विपक्षी गठजोड़ का जिसको कहते हैं ना कि ये एक टोन सेट हो गई है कि इस पर तो बात करनी करनी, कोई भी कहीं डिविजिव एजेंडा दिखे, कहीं कोई डिवीजन हम कर सकते हैं तो उस पर हम जरूर जाएंगे। अगर ऐसा नहीं होता तो प्रियांक खड़गे से लेकर मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे से लेकर ए राजा से लेकर और एक के बाद एक, यहां तक कि जो द्रमुक सांसद है, डीएमके के सांसद हैं सेंथिल कुमार, वो लोकसभा में कह देते हैं। ये दरअसल एक स्टेट ऑफ माइंड है, और मुझे लगता है कि राहुल गांधी से ये शब्द मैं उधार लूं, और वो जिस तरह से कहते हैं कि हमारा जो यूनियन ऑफ स्टेट्स है, जो डेफिनेशन वो गए थे यूरोप में वहां देकर आए थे, तो लगता है कि वो सारे के सारे नेताओं के दिमाग में घर कर गई है। दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। और मैं तो कहूंगा, देखिए अभी संयोग से हम लोग जिस वक्त ये बात कर रहे हैं, और मैं इसको संदर्भ के साथ बताता हूं, रेवंत रेड्डी एबीवीपी से जुड़े रहे, यानी राहुल गांधी के संकट ये कि एक संघी वहां भी बैठ गया, लेकिन वो संघी कांग्रेस में जाकर कितना करप्ट हो गया कि एबीवीपी, जिसका अभी राष्ट्रीय अधिवेशन हो रहा है 7, 8, 9, 10 इसी दिल्ली में हो रहा है, एबीवीपी पिछले 60-70 सालों से और पिछले 20-30 साल में तो उसमें कमाल का काम हुआ है कि उनका जो प्रोग्राम है स्टूडेंट एक्सपीरियंस इन इंटर स्टेट लिविंग, क्योंकि पूर्वोत्तर के लोगों के साथ अलग तरीके से देखा जाता था, वही रेसिज्म जो आप बता रही थी उसको उन्होंने ठीक किया। मैं ये समझ नहीं पा रहा हूं कि हमारे देश के राजनीतिक दल, नेता, विशेष करके नेशनल पार्टी, वो इस तरह का शर्मनाक व्यवहार कर कैसे सकती हैं। और नौजवान आज देखता होगा उनको, देश के लोग देखते हैं, ये शर्मसार करने वाला घटनाक्रम है, इसकी सिर्फ निंदा नहीं होनी चाहिए, गाहे बगाहे इसको लेकर कहीं न कहीं जो लोकतांत्रिक तरीके से इनको सजा भी दी जानी चाहिए, इसका भी कुछ प्रावधान होना चाहिए।
Ashutosh ji, is this divisiveness now creeping into not just the discourse but the DNA of the entire grouping?
Now he's the chief minister. Has he made a statement after becoming the chief minister? I don't know when this statement was made.
It was made.
a bad statement,
it was made
a bad
3
thing
weeks
that-
ago. It was made 3 weeks ago.
But the people have elected him as a chief minister, and the party has been given the mandate. So is it justified? No, it's not justified. But this is the same logic which is given in the past that whatever I have done, people have given us mandate, so I have every right to abuse, and whatever I feel like I can do it. But this DNA controversy is nothing new. If you remember in the month of, in the year of 2015, who first time raised the question about DNA of Nitish Kumar? Who was then? Who was that leader? We should also look into that. And at that point of time, he was holding the most constitutional post in the country. So I think the politicians are in a habit of getting into rhetorics and trying to score a point over others. That's the problem with Indian politics, and we have to understand that. Yesterday, I was there on a debate, and somebody asked about the gaumutra state. I said, "Why are we worried about it?" A lot more people in the BJP has talked about, and I come from the village. हमारे घर में तो गौमूत्र से और गोबर से तो पूजा जाता और पवित्र माना जाता है. Why are we feeling so bad about it? साध्वी प्रज्ञा was a member of parliament on 17th May 2021. मैं तो रोज गौमूत्र पीती हूँ, कोविड मेरा ठीक हो जाता है. बीजेपी लीडर. एंड 22nd में एज अर्ली 2023 जब बीजेपी की सरकार वहां गई तो कांग्रेस पार्टी के लोगों ने जाके विधानसभा पे गौमूत्र का छिड़काव किया ताकि वो पवित्र हो जाए. एंड लेट्स नॉट फॉरगेट इट, हम यूपी और बिहार वालों की तो पिटने की आदत है ना. हम जब बॉम्बे में जाते हैं या मराठा में जाते हैं तो भैया करके हमारी पिटाई होती है. कौन लोग पीटते हैं? वो कभी शिवसेना के लोग पीटते थे, कभी वो राज ठाकरे के लोग पीटते थे. बट मुझे नहीं लगता किसी एक पार्टी ने कभी उनके साथ गठबंधन तोड़ा हो या कभी ने उनके स्क्रिप्ट की वो की हो. यहां तो सिर्फ एक स्लर है. यूपी और बिहार के लोगों को तो बाकायदा पीटा गया है. और भैया कहते बार-बार उनका इंसल्ट
इसमें
किया
कोई
गया.
ऑब्जेक्शन नहीं होना चाहिए क्योंकि होता है, ये चलता है और सालों से होता रहा है.
मेरा कहना यह है कि जब इस तरीके की घटना हुई तो क्या उन पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज का बाइकआउट किया गया? नहीं किया गया, क्योंकि वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स थी. क्या राज ठाकरे के साथ लोगों ने हाथ नहीं मिलाया गया क्योंकि वो मराठी मानुष थे और उनके रहने से वोट आता है. तो मुझे तो एक हमाम में सारे नंगे दिखाई पड़ते हैं.
ओके, वेरी क्विकली हर्षवर्धन जी, रिस्पॉन्ड टू द पॉलिटिक्स की टाइम से राइट फ्रॉम द टाइम्स ऑफ बाल ठाकरे जहां लोगों को पीटा जाता था, पीपल हु केम फ्रॉम मद्रास, व्हिच वाज देन कॉल्ड मद्रास, इनटू मुंबई, दे वर बीटन अप, टू द टाइम दैट राज ठाकरे बीट अप टैक्सी ड्राइवर्स. आशुतोष जी, सिंह होता रहता है. अभी कौन सी नई बात?
बिल्कुल आशुतोष जी ने जो कहा मैं उसको थोड़ा सा आगे बढ़ाता हूं. गौमूत्र राज्य कहने से हमें कोई ऐतराज नहीं है, लेकिन इसका तरीका जो है वो थोड़ा सा गलत है. जैसे हमारे देश की ग्रोथ रेट जब 2%, 2.5%, 3% हुआ करती थी तो उसे हिंदू ग्रोथ रेट कह दिया. ये तरीका गलत है. हिंदू ग्रोथ रेट दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी 24% ऑफ द वर्ल्ड ट्रेड वो हम करते थे, वो हिंदू ग्रोथ रेट थी. ये हिंदू ग्रोथ रेट नहीं थी. यानी नेहरू परिवार की नीतियों की वजह से
लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी, इफ दैट विल बी कॉल्ड द हिंदू इकोनॉमी ऑफ इंडिया,
हिंदू इकोनॉमी होगी. और नेहरू जी की नीतियों की वजह गलती से अगर हमारी ग्रोथ रेट नीचे गई, इंदिरा जी की गलतियों की वजह से ग्रोथ रेट नीचे गई, तो हिंदू ग्रोथ रेट क्यों? गांधी परिवार की ग्रोथ रेट होनी चाहिए थी ना. फिर गांधी की पॉलिसी की ग्रोथ रेट होनी चाहिए थी. और इसीलिए हमें ये गौमूत्र राज्य जो कहा जा रहा है उस पर ऐतराज है. हमें जब कहा जाता है, और हम फिर से कह रहे हैं, भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने राष्ट्रीय चरित्र दिखाया है। के अन्नामलाई खड़े होकर कह रहे हैं कि आप हमारे उत्तर भारतीय भाइयों को पानी पूरी बेचने वाला कहकर, कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्कर कहकर आप इस तरह से नहीं कर सकते। लेकिन क्या कांग्रेस पार्टी उस तरह से खड़ी हुई? एक नेशनल पार्टी है कांग्रेस पार्टी। और मैं फिर से कह रहा हूं, भारतीय जनता पार्टी महाराष्ट्र में बड़ी होती है, घटनाएं बंद हो जाती, शिवसेना की गुंडागर्दी बंद हो जाती। क्या हुआ ये? किसका फर्क है, किसका असर है?
Okay, before Ashutosh ji responds, one specific question asked of the BJP, Shazia Almi respond. Aaj you are upset about the DNA of KCR being referred to, but the Prime Minister referred to Nitish Kumar's DNA in the election campaign.
And in what context? And in what context? And see in what context this is being used. And you know, when Nitin, or whatever this first gentleman's name is, who's the first speaker, when he talks about discomfort with others, isn't that discomfort a euphemism for xenophobia, for parochialism, for racism, and for bigotry? And also, Ashutosh is trying to give a good spin and indulge in all kind of whataboutery and say it's always being done. For those reasons and more, we should not talk about it. Those are exactly the reasons why he has to be called out. Instead of it justifying it, saying, "Arey, is hamam mein sab nange." You know, those who talk about the Constitution now should really read it. They talk about saving the Constitution. And Nitish Kumar is himself a Kurmi. And the unfortunate part is, with what face is I.N.D.I.A alliance planning to go in this alliance and go ahead and ask Lalu Prasad Yadav and Nitish Ji to be a part of it, having insulted Biharis in the manner in which they have? North Indians have low literacy. North Indians have high fertility. They are the cow urine states. And you know, Ashutosh, we don't have a problem with cow urine per se. But when it's used as a pejorative, when it's used as an insult, and is used to bring down and looked at with disdain, to show North Indians as unevolved people, as once Rahul Gandhi said, then it's a problem.
Ashutosh ji, respond to this. And by the way, it's not just Nitish Kumar who is a Kurmi. It is also Anupriya Patel, who is right now in the I.N.D.A, and Krishna Patel, her mother, who is currently in the I.N.D.I.A grouping. Anupriya Patel's mother and sister Pallavi Patel, they are in I.N.D.I.A. They are also Kurmis. Wonder what we have to say about their DNA. Ashutosh ji.
See, I think it's fashionable today to talk about it, but I think it was not fashionable a long time back. See, when Bala Saheb Thackeray led Shiv Sena and Raj Thackeray were beating up Biharis और यूपी वालों को, अगर उसी वक्त भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने उनके साथ संबंध तोड़ लिया होता, उनको बता दिया होता कि बर्दाश्त के बाहर है, तो शायद ये बात आगे नहीं बढ़ती। 2008 में हुआ, 2015 में तो लगातार पिटते रहे। और अगर जिस दिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने अगर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को लेकर कंडेम किया होता है, मिस्टर प्राइम मिनिस्टर, यू आर आवर लीडर, बट इट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल, क्या बीजेपी ने उस वक्त कहा था? क्या उनके मुंह पे दही जम गई थी तब?
But maybe right now in protest, I.N.D.I can eject them because the original Shiv Sena, Uddhav ji claims, is his Shiv Sena. So in the interest of secularism, maybe he can be ejected now. The people who beat up the so-called Madrasis at that time.
Padmaja, I can cite you n number of incidents in this country, n number of incidents. But the party at that point of time was in alliance with the Shiv Sena.
Sir, so in the present, I want to ask you, in the year 2023, if a chief ministerial candidate says that Telangana DNA is better than Bihari DNA, is it okay or not okay? Let's all agree at this time what Bal Thackeray did was wrong, what Raj Thackeray did was wrong. But does it make what Revant Reddy said okay? Does it make what Senthil Kumar said okay in the year 2023 December?
It's not okay.
Then why doesn't somebody speak about it? How can the Congress party still remain quiet about a comment like this?
Padmaja, let me complete. Was it okay when the Prime Minister called Sonia Gandhi Congress ki vidwa? Was it okay? Was it
no,
okay
none of this was okay. It was also not okay to be in alliance with Bal Thackeray, but we cannot go back in time and break that alliance. What we can do is question the silence in 2023.
Not play holier than thou. So the BJP leader and the supporters should not play holier than thou attitude.
Okay, Shazia will respond. Holier than thou.
That is completely unjustifiable. You know, how desperate is Ashutosh to justify something that is unjustifiable? I mean, I can go on and talk about Maut Ka Saudakar. I can go on about Jo Hitler ki chaal chalega, wo Hitler ki maut marega. I can talk about various ways in which they have planned and as to how Modi ji would die and wish death upon him. But am I getting into it? I'm talking about the issue at hand. And because he has no defense, he's going all over the place. The fact of the matter is that they are originally the Tukde gang, and they should say so. It is divisive, it's secessionist, it's obnoxious.
Okay, by the way...
It's not all right. We are a unitary yet federal republic of India.
Okay,
and
by the way, it is not just this one. You know, this alliance...
social contract, the constitution.
These parties are in alliance for a very long time now. This gentleman, Senthil Kumar, we are focusing on Revant Reddy, but let's not forget that Senthil Kumar may have apologized for one comment which people noticed and outraged about, but this is not the first time he said it. I want you to listen to what he has said about the Mahabharata, about Lord Krishna. He is a repeat offender, and just because people did not notice it and get outraged the way they did yesterday, he was not reined in. Listen first to what he said earlier about Lord Krishna.
பெண்கள் குளித்திருக்கக்கூடிய இடத்தில் ஒரு குளத்தில் அவர்கள் ஆடைகளை அந்த கரையோரம் வைத்துக்கொண்டு அவர்கள் குளித்திருக்கக்கூடிய இடத்தில் யாரோ ஒருவங்க போய் அந்த ஆடையெல்லாம் எடுத்து ஒரு மரத்து மேல உட்கார்ந்து அந்த பெண்கள் குளிப்பதை ரசிப்பதும் அவர்கள் ஆடை கேட்பதை கொடுக்க மாட்டேன்னு சொல்றதும் என்ன விதமான ஒரு இப்படி யாராவது அவங்க பையனை வளர்ப்பாங்களா? இல்ல இன்னைக்கு உலகத்துல இது மாதிரி நடந்துச்சுன்னா என்ன சொல்லுவோம்? சோ அவங்க சொல்றது கிருஷ்ண பரமாத்மா இதுதான் செய்தார். கிருஷ்ண பரமாத்மா இதுதான் அவர் சொன்னார். ஏன்னா இது மாதிரி ஆடைகள் எடுத்துட்டு போயிட்டு இதெல்லாம் இன்னைக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய சூழல்ல அவர்லாம் உள்ளார தூக்கி ஜெயில போடுவாங்க. ஈவ்டீசிங்ல இருப்பாங்க. இது மாதிரியான சூழல்லாம் எடுக்க முடியாது.
For the guests who are joining us remotely, Nikhil Jain, what he essentially said was that what Lord Krishna did, he took away the clothes of young women and enjoyed watching them bathing. Basically, he's an Eve teaser, and in the present day, he would be put in jail. He didn't say this yesterday. He said this long ago. And nobody reined him in. And yet he continues to be in the DMK, which continues to be in your alliance.
See, first of all, Padmaja, I'm not here to justify the statements of leaders of the DMK. He may be in the DMK, but Karti Chidambaram did make a statement, public statement on Twitter that what Senthil Kumar had said in the parliament yesterday or day before yesterday was wrong, and it was an unfortunate choice of words and they should be taken back. On the topic of Senthil Kumar being in the DMK, continuing in the DMK, I would like to ask the BJP spokesperson Shafia, whatever her name is, that why is T. Raja still in your party in the BJP? The same person who brandishes swords in public, the Telangana BJP MLA who says that we need to have guns and swords and weapons to fight against the Muslims. I think she is herself a Muslim. Why is that person in the party still in the BJP? This person, Senthil Kumar, as much as I may disagree with his remarks, he's just only saying things. He's at least not inciting violence. BJP MLAs incite violence. They brandish swords. They go around wreaking havoc in cities. We've just seen the Hawa Mahal MLA of the BJP. Even before he got sworn in as an MLA, he was going around brandishing weapons, and he had an entire mob of people going around breaking down shops of
he made people shut down shops, which in itself was silly.
Is this
but just to be factually clear, he wasn't brandishing weapons in any of the images that I saw. He said he was shutting down illegal eateries by the roadside, and he subsequently apologized. Respond to this bad language by your leaders. Bad language by your leaders never gets any condemnations.
So, I mean, should I start off? No. I think you took it really badly because I could not remember your name, whether it was Nikhil or Nitin. So please don't get so outraged by that. I think it's a matter of great outrage for every Indian to have a newly appointed CM of a state talking about DNA of a Bihari, of a fellow Indian in the manner in which he has. That's one. And two, constant attacks on your own Hindu brothers, promoting and talking about this hatred against Sanatan Dharma, Hindi wale pani puri bechne ke liye achhe hain. Constantly doing it. If somebody does it in BJP, it is wrong. And I don't remember Telangana MLA brandishing swords. Anybody who brandishes swords and incites violence is clearly working against the constitutional framework of our country and should be.
And now let me get you a piece of breaking news. By the way, Mr. Senthil Kumar, who everyone just keeps dodging what he actually said, he not just talked about Mahabharata and Lord Krishna, he actually used this very word, gaumutra states, earlier inside the Lok Sabha. It is a matter of record, and again I'm reiterating, this backtracking and this half-hearted apology has happened only because of the pushback and the angry reaction of people who notice. But so ingrained is this contempt for people from the north that he has said this in public forums, he has said this inside the Lok Sabha earlier, and nobody bothered to tell him, don't do it. Listen to what he has said earlier inside Parliament about how the education policy should be implemented in gaumutra states. Listen.
Why is it that the central government is seen to thrust out the national education policy upon us? We have set principles and we have set models, the Dravidian principle models, which are successful models. If it wants to implement them for India to become a developed state, let them implement Tamil Nadu's model throughout the state. But instead, why is it being thrust upon us? We totally reject it. If they want, they can go implement it in gaumutra states, which they are very keen upon.
Harshvardhan ji, you want to put education policy, do it in gaumutra states.
पद्मजा, मैं बार बार जिक्र कर रहा हूं, बीबीसी की रिपोर्ट कहती है कि अभी दुनिया भर में चलन बढ़ गया है कि गाय से गले मिलो ठीक रहोगे, दुरुस्त रहोगे। कुछ लोग कह रहे हैं उससे थोड़ा तनाव वगैरह हो तो वो ठीक हो जाता है। तो सेंथिल कुमार को थोड़ा तनाव ज्यादा है, तो उनकी मानसिक दशा ठीक हो, वो बीमार हैं, और ऐसे बीमार लोगों को निश्चित तौर पर थोड़ा उससे लाभ मिलेगा। कुछ गौमूत्र भी पिएंगे तो शायद उनका कुछ इलाज ठीक हो पाएगा। मुझे लगता है कि ऐसे लोगों की समस्या ये है कि वो अभी भी कूप मंडूक हैं, कुएं से बाहर नहीं निकल पा रहे हैं। उनको पता नहीं है कि अब नॉर्थ साउथ डिवाइड करना, ईस्ट वेस्ट डिवाइड करना, ये बहुत पुरानी बात हो गई, अब नहीं हो सकता है। अब दक्षिण भारत और उत्तर भारत के लोग इतना एक दूसरे के यहाँ ट्रेवल कर रहे हैं, घूम रहे हैं। अब हिंदी को लेकर और उत्तर भारतीयों को लेकर आप ये सब करेंगे तो आप इधर तो नुकसान करेंगे ही, वहां भी नुकसान करेंगे। और मैं बार बार कह रहा हूं, तेलंगाना में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का मत प्रतिशत दोगुना हो जाना, 6.88 से 13 प्लस हो जाना, ये अपने आप में दिखा रहा है कि नेशनल पार्टी के तौर पर जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एक तरह से कहते हैं ना कि वो जो इनरोड्स कर रही है वो साउथ में बहुत जबरदस्त तरीके से कर रही है। सेंथिल कुमार, ए राजा, प्रियांक खरगे, उदयनिधि स्टालिन, ये लोग सब एक तरह से ब्रांड एम्बेसडर हैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी के दक्षिण भारत में। वो बता रहे हैं कि देखो हम तो विभाजन कर रहे हैं, एक पार्टी है जो यूनाइटेड करने के लिए आ रही है। तो इसलिए मुझे अब कोई ऐतराज नहीं दिखता है, ये होने वाला है और ये मुझे बहुत आसानी से जल्दी होता हुआ दिख रहा है।
You know, it's amusing in itself that people think that being called a gaumutra state is somehow an insult to people of that state. That being said, we had an informal meeting of I.N.D.I.A, which just ended a while ago. I wonder how members of the Congress and the members of the DMK greeted their colleagues in I.N.D.I.A from the gaumutra states. We'll be waiting for inputs on that. For the time being, thanks very much, gentlemen, Shazia Almi, for joining me.